Hello everybody. In Unit 2, you will be asked to convert the Grades.2 data to an SPSS data file. So if you click on Unit 2, it will bring you to this area or this part of the assignment in the course room. And the first thing you want to do is click on that data file and download it. Now for me, I'm using Safari, so I'm able to drag it to my desktop. Then I'm going to close my browser. And what I've done is I've created a file called Capella, and I'm going to put that Grades.2 data in there. So you can see it right here. And I also have the description of that data that I downloaded from a previous assignment and that I do have uploaded to the updates and handouts discussion in the course room. So I have this information available to you in the 7620 course room. So the next thing I'm going to do is open up SPSS, and we'll give that a minute to get open. Depending on your type of system you have, sometimes in the Macintosh especially, SPSS takes a little bit longer to open than with Windows-based computers. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to File, and then we're going to Open, and then and then go to Data. And then we're going to go to our desktop. So we're going to, wherever our desktop is, and we're going to open this Capella folder. Now, you notice we don't see anything in there, and that's because we have to come down here and we have to tell the program that we want to find information, a file that has a .dat suffix. So now you can see the Grades.2 data. So you have to toggle to this in order to be able to see that file. So you're going to click on that and then click on Open. And this will take SPSS a minute. And we're not going to check anything here. We're going to go Continue. And then we want to check Yes because our variable names are at the top of the file. We're not going to check anything else. And then Continue, and then Continue, and then Continue, and then Continue, and then we're done. Now you'll notice that we have a SPSS data file that has all the data in it that we will need for the course. Now there's a couple little things that we need to do to this data. There's one little glitch that we need to correct. And let's see where it is. I'm scrolling here and I'll see it here in a minute. Notice that case 35, Paula D. Canio. This person or this case is off one in terms of the data because her name is in the gender spot. Well, we can't have that because the data won't be analyzed correctly. I don't know if Capella did this on purpose so that you would have to fix the data, but I'm going to show you how to fix it. So what we can do is just double click in this cell and put DeCanio. And then we're going to delete that, and then we're going to put Paula there. And then we're going to delete this. And I should make this all capital just to match. So notice now we have Paula here and then her last name in the last name column. So what we have to do is we're going to highlight this row all the way over. You see how that's one off? And then we're going to copy. Okay. Then we're going to come here and we're going to highlight the row again right to the C, and then we're going to go paste. And so that's, and then we got to get rid of this P. Now the data is correct. Okay. Now I know this says 1 point, but that doesn't matter. That's because it's giving it a 2 decimal places. So now I'm going to save, and I'm going to call this the grades. Whoop, the Grades.sav data. Now notice that will be in my data file. So that's the data file that we're going to use. Now, a couple other things. Oh, going back to the folder. So the description for all of the data in the SPSS spreadsheet is on this page. And so what we're going to do is label the variables. So I'm going to come back to the SPSS spreadsheet and I'm going to go into variable view. And for gender, notice 1 equal female and 2 equal male. So I'm going to go over here to the values label, or the values column, and I'm going to double click in that cell. And I'm going to put a 1, and then I'm going to type female. And then I'm going to put a 2, and I'm going to type male. 1 equals female, 2 equals male. I'm going to add those, and then I'm going to go OK. Now, this variable says string, but since we've changed the male and the female to numerical values, we can click in this cell in the right-hand side, and you'll notice this variable type box pops up, and we can click on numeric and go OK. So now we can also label ethnicity. And again, we click in the cell under values, under the values column, and you'll notice that 1 is equal to Native American. And then I add 2 is equal to Asian, and then I add 3 is equal to black, and I add 4 is equal to white, and I add that variable, and finally 5 is equal to Hispanic, and I add that variable. So now I have my ethnicity variable labeled, and I need to make sure I click on OK, and then if I click on this again, I can see that my labels have stayed. The next variable, is class rank. And so for class rank, that's under the variable year. See how's that go. Okay, 1 is freshman, and I can add. 2 is couple, sophomore, and I can add that. 3 is junior, and 4 is senior. So now I have that variable labeled. Okay, and then I have low up. So low up is lower or upper division. So 1 equals lower and 2 equals upper. Okay, so now that variable's labeled. Then the next one I need to label is extra credit. So did extra credit project. So I go over to extra credit here, and 1 equals no, and 2 equals yes. So that one's labeled. And then I have one more. Attended review sessions. So that's under the review. So 1 is no, add, and 2 is yes, add. Okay, so now I've labeled all my variables. I've labeled my gender, my ethnicity, my year group, lower or upper division, extra credit, no or yes, review, no or yes. And those are really all the variables that we need to label. And then when I click on Data View, you can see the different variables across the top of the page. And so I want to make sure that I go Save, and then I can exit out of SPSS, and I have my grades. Whoops. I have my Grades.sav data file for use for the rest of the course. I also, again, to repeat, I've also uploaded this data file labeled and ready to go in the updates and handouts discussion of the Capella course room. I hope this video helps. If you have questions, please email me.